Alright guys, so now we are going to go over some fun stuff about the best apps to actually use, to increase your sales conversion, to get people back on your page, email marketing, just some things like the Wheelio that we saw to get the spinner to get people to give you their email, and lots of fun stuff like that. So all apps are available via the Shopify App Store. If we click here, visit Shopify App Store. And the first one that we are going to do, and probably one of the most important, is Mailchimp. So Mailchimp is an autoresponder. It also does many other things. We'll show you all of the best uses for it. It is a great app, and it's free up to 2,000 subscribers. I'm trying to save you guys money everywhere I can. I know it's hard to have all of these little monthly charges for all of these apps before you're making money. So the goal here is the laser focus on getting some sales, really getting it started, and then we can start to scale by adding additional subscriptions and things like that. So what we're going to do is install app, and I'm going to walk you through every single one of these the entire way through. I know it's hard. So I already set up a Golf Ninja subscribers, but let's just do it from the very beginning again. So we'll call this Golf Ninjas with a Z, subs. And we're gonna go to next. And so it says your store is connected. It'll take a moment to sync your Shopify data with a Mailchimp. In the meantime, find out what you can do, connect the site. So we're gonna go to all done here. And so now our store is connected. And so we see that our list setting is Golf Ninja subs. So if we go to our lists here, we have some other ones that I set up. I'm going to erase this one just because it's old. All right, so now we just have this one right here. And so what we can do is a few things. So first of all, if we check now, we'll see that our newsletter here is actually synced to our Mailchimp account now. So it's going to give me this "you're not a robot" thing because I've already done this a couple times just to make sure that I was, fast enough to keep everyone interested. So it says thanks for subscribing, and now that is imported into our Golf Ninjas subs list. And so that's pretty cool, right? Because now they're automatically subscribed into our list. They're also stored one other place, just so you guys know. If we go to customers here, we see what I just entered. And so this list is important because we can actually export this list and send broadcast emails from Mailchimp. And so if you want to send an email to anyone who's ever given you their email on Shopify, anyone who's ever given you their email via newsletter, via pop-up, via everything. So that's where you find it, under customers right here. This will have all of the emails that have ever been entered on your store. And so one of the other cool things that we can do with Mailchimp that I wanted to show really quick is if we go to products and collections. So now if we actually come in here, let's say that we are gonna launch a new women's polo, so like a green one, or like some new awesome design or whatever. If we come in here and now we're in the women's polo collection and we go to more actions, we can go to email using Mailchimp. And so this is a really cool little feature. You don't have to create segmentations. You don't have to do a lot of the things that are difficult to do normally with e-commerce mixed with email automation. So it does all of it for you. It literally imports these designs for you. If you want to change anything, obviously the little bar right here, you can change the images. If we want to change the descriptions or the titles, we can do that here. But I mean, we're not going to actually send this one, but it makes it so incredibly easy to send to any specific collection if you're launching a new product in a horizontally related niche. And so we're going to jump back right now. And so I want to also just show really quick. So we're inside of Mailchimp right here. And if we want to go to campaigns, and so one of the most useful email automation tools. So we already showed how to connect your list so that everyone who subscribes to your newsletter will go directly to that Mailchimp list. We showed how to send out collection specific emails if you're launching some new women's polo and you only want to send an email to women's polo. That is as easy as it literally gets, guys, especially for a free service. But the most important kind of usage of email marketing, besides broadcast, besides if you're sending out specific product line emails, is what's called abandoned cart. And so if we are going to actually create a new email campaign here, we're going to go to automated, and we're going to go to recover abandoned carts. And for those of you who didn't see, I just pressed create campaign. And we're right in here in the campaigns tab. We're going to go create campaign, create an email, automated, and then we're going to go to recover abandoned carts. And so we're going to select our store right here, and we're going to press begin. And so this is an incredibly beautifully designed system. So what it says is sends to Golf Ninja's customers 6 hours after they abandon their cart. And so we can change this to 1 hour. We can change this to 24. You kind of have to test it for yourself. I've personally found that 1 hour or 24 hours works best. I like to start it with 1 hour to test that first. And so, Mailchimp has an unbelievable amount of data, and they've found that, just enabling this automated abandoned cart feature, which means that somebody comes to your cart, maybe they're about to buy one of your women's polos or your men's polos, but then, something crazy happened, like a asteroid came through their window or a dog is peeing on them or like whatever happened. It doesn't really matter. Their boss is coming in, they had to hide the fact that they're on your e-commerce store. They wanted the product, but they got distracted. That happens so often. It's not annoying at all sending these. It's really not. And so this is going to really help your business, and you can do it for free. So there are other apps on Shopify like Abandoned Cart Protector. There's 1,000 different ways to do everything, but I'm trying very, very hard to give a very focused, laser directional path for the cheapest possible price to get you as much as possible and started as quickly as possible. So that's kind of the goal of all of this is to do that. So we're going to send it from my email subject. We saved your cart for you. We can do this a little bit better. So we are going to, and just as a note, guys, I keep a very close track, and I have a big store. Obviously, I love Google Drive and keeping notes for myself. The notes for you guys will be much prettier, I promise. These are just to make sure I cover everything for you guys. But I keep track if I ever see emails that I like. This was one of the abandoned carts of a website that I was actually browsing. So it has a lot of things I like. So the subject title is "Where Do You Go?" And so it's pretty simple. I like it. So we're gonna go ahead and copy that. There's nothing wrong with borrowing things from people. The best way to learn quickly is to emulate those who've already been successful. So I don't mean copy it word for word or anything like that, but what I do mean is that these people have done a lot of work. So I always sign up. I go out and I sign up for ColourPop. I go out and I sign up for all of the most popular Shopify sites. I go to the carts and then abandon them after I give them my email because I want to see what their abandoned carts say. And I want to use that and retrofit it to my specific products because they have millions and millions of dollars of revenue, and they have whole teams behind them who are testing these things and split testing them for the most part. And so, I want to kind of piggyback off that. And so we're going to edit the design. If we take a closer look at this, it's literally like an adorable little dog. And it says, your shopping cart at Black North Clothing has been waiting for you for a while. You've left behind these. That gear in your cart is lonely and cold, and all it needs is someone to love it and wear it and occasionally stroke it appreciatively. So, it's written in a comical tone. I like that personally. That adheres to me. It really makes me want to actually purchase this. So what we're gonna do is cute puppy. We're gonna get a cute puppy. Sorry for the caps lock. So we're gonna choose this one because this thing is absolutely ridiculous. If you don't smile when you see this creature, then something is seriously wrong with you. And we're gonna go ahead and add it in. So we're gonna upload it here. Add this adorable little puffball creature that some people might call a dog. And let's look and see what they wrote. It may obliterate inboxes. So we can actually resize it here, it looks like. And that's, again, a crazily handy feature from a free service, 600 to 800. So here we go. And so the first thing is this picture. If we wanted to, we could overlay some text with Canva or something like that said, "Why'd you leave me?" But it's okay. For now, we're not going to. Did you forget something? You're making Timmy the white puffball dog sad. So you can get playful with these guys. I mean, people get so many emails a day that it's like they just get completely um, kind of like numb to it. So I mean, the more personal flavor that you can enact to it, and the more personal flavor that you can really put into anything and everything with your store, it's going to pay off in the long run. So it's automatically going to pull from Shopify since our Mailchimp is set up for and synced to our Shopify account. And so these will be the products that they were browsing, which is really nice and handy. And so we are going to save and continue. So it's super simple. A plain text version of this email will be included automatically. Yeah, so this is going to be the email. Obviously, we don't have any cart data, so it's not going to show, but it's going to be something very eloquent, simple. Did you forget something? You're making Timmy the white puffball dog sad. And look at how sad he looks. I mean, I would buy something just because of that dog. And so then they give you a button that takes you right back to our website. Again, beautifully eloquent, very simple. Just a really immaculate service, and it's completely free. You're about to start this automation, which contains one email that Golf Ninja subs. Yes, and so now everyone who kind of comes to our store once we activate it and is in our checkout process but leaves is going to get this automated service that contains the products that they were browsing and a link to get directly back to it. And this has been proven to improve conversions by up to 12% for all of your online sales, which is incredibly high. The more and more you start to scale and the more people who come to your store, it's going to be more and more important. So it's a very, very important feature. So we talked about a few things. We talked about how to send collection emails, right? If I wanted to send only to women for their polos, for a new polo, only to men, maybe only to people who liked our golf shoes or something like that. We can do it very easily by coming into collections, clicking any collection, bestsellers this time, and then email with using Mailchimp, and it'll send only to them. We talked about the fact that our online store, our newsletter, is now synced. So whenever anybody puts something in here into the newsletter at the bottom, it's going to import directly into our Mailchimp. And we talked about how to set up an email abandonment automation, which means that anytime somebody is looking at your stuff but doesn't buy, they will get an email reminding them, which is going to improve your conversions by a ton. And so the last thing that I want to talk about is how to send an email to your entire list. So if you want to send it to just part, we talked about collections. If you want to send it to people who are abandoning your cart, we talked about that. But what if you want to send an email to everyone who is in your ecosystem, right? So everybody who comes on the newsletter, everybody who's in the carts, everybody who does any of your pop-ups, and all of that fun jazz. So what we're going to do is we're going to come into Mailchimp, go to campaigns, and create campaign, create an email. We're going to call this broadcast 1. Begin, and this is going to be our Golf Ninja subs list. And this is where we're going to choose the segmentation. So we don't need to mess around with segmentation here because we're going to just do it from the collections tab in Shopify. And so really the only time we're actually going to send a mass email from inside here is when we're doing broadcast, because we're never going to send any of the automation cart stuff because that's all in the background. You just have to set it up once and just kind of forget about it. But we see here that if we choose the entire list, then we can go to next. And this means that when we actually click this, so this is going to be, what's up everyone? Snippet will appear in the inbox after the subject line. Want a crazy fun tip, right? You want to draw people in with all of these. These should all be a little clickbaity, ethical clickbait is what I like to call it. From name, right? If you have if you're branding your own store, then do that, but you don't need it to be your actual name unless you're branding yourself. From email address, this could be support@golfninjas.com. And this, you can leave all of this the same. They'll track the opens, they'll track the clicks and all of that fun stuff. Title for campaign, we'll call this to everyone 1. Auto tweet after sending. No. We'll go to next. So we can verify this if we want. It's just a short process, but for now, just so I can show you guys, we're just gonna leave it. So we can show you the rest. And then they have some cool templates here. So we can add our logos here. We can add our story. We can add a product catalog. Maybe we're doing like a 50% off the entire store for Christmas, or whatever the case may be. So it's the same thing. It's kind of a drag and drop type editor. So you choose whichever one you want. If you want to add anything additional, maybe you want to add like a divider in between, or you want to add anything. It's quite easy. You just literally drag and drop. If you want to add a photo, you just come in here. You can go to replace, choose a photo. Yep, and now you all of a sudden have a cute little puffball. And it's just as simple as that, guys. Once you finish editing the text and doing all of this, you just go to next. And well, you have to actually change the default text before it'll allow you to send it. But then you basically just press send, and that's that. So those are all of the uses for Mailchimp. For a free service, having all three of those things, being able to send segmented lists that easily from inside of Shopify, being able to send broadcasts for free under 2,000 subscribers, and being able to integrate directly and that seamlessly with your list for newsletters and things like that, it is just incredible, guys. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. This is just the very first app that we're going to talk about, but it was one of the most important, so I wanted to spend a little bit of extra time on it. So let's get to the next app.